It's that time again. Time to go to work. It is football season, Tom Thayer, and the Bears are headed to training camp tomorrow. They check in, they get a day off for conditioning, and then they go to work.
Well, 95 degrees is usually a good indicator when training camp is going to start, because I think players of all eras, they dread the heat. But then again, it's a way to get these guys in shape for the regular season.
And the body clock ticks in a certain unique way for a football player. They know it's here. The game face goes on, and the hard work begins. Good to be with you again, everybody, on ChicagoBears.com. I'm Jeff Joniak, and this, of course, is Super Bowl Bear Tom Thayer. We're from WBBM, News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM, and we are excited to be bringing Training Camp 2012 to you every single day. And there are so many great storylines, and there have been so much discussion about this team in this offseason. The vibe has been outstanding, and it has everybody thinking very positively going into the season.
You're saying it perfect. Expectations and anticipation. Anticipation, what is Phil Emery, the new general manager, going to bring along with his rookie class? What is Brandon Marshall, the most highly prized free agent signee of the offseason outside of Peyton Manning in Denver? And so I said, the expectations are big, but the anticipation is even more. What is Shea McClellan going to add to this rookie class? What is Alshon Jeffrey going to come in and add to the big receiver group? How is Devin Hester going to mature? And Jay Cutler, what can we say about him? So much was lost in the season last year. Now with Jay Cutler coming back, with Jeremy Bates, his quarterback coach, Mike Tice, the new offense, and Brandon Marshall, as we mentioned, and a happy Matt Forte, the anticipation is exciting.
Yeah, look at the grin. Look at the grin on the man's face. The beauty of it, there's no distractions right now. It's all just going to be about football. And this is a team that we've come to understand because of the veteran influence, especially on the defensive side of the ball, Tom, with Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs, Julius Peppers, Charles Tillman. On the offensive side with Roberto Garza, Cutler himself, and some other guys. This is a team that does roll up its sleeves and goes to work. It's a reflection of their head coach and this coaching staff. And so none of that will surprise me. This is a very business-like approach to the 2012 season I think we're about to see.
Right, but you mentioned the core group of guys. Whether they're above 30 or below 30, they're an important part of this roster. The key is the important competition positions, because when you look at the left tackle position, look at the safety position, and look at the announced competition at the cornerback position, Jeff, those are going to be huge battles we're going to watch the entire training camp. But it's not only the battles between the two individuals, it's when they ultimately win the job. It should make the Bears a better football team. And when you're talking about Jamarcus Webb battling against Chris Williams at the left tackle position, it's a talented battle. When you talk about Tim Jennings and Calvin Hayden at the cornerback position, it's a big battle. And then, hey, who's going to win the defensive tackle spot? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, but I think the competition that goes along with them is ultimately going to make them a better football team.
I believe coming out of a training camp, your number one goal is quite simple. It is to stay as healthy as you possibly can for the regular season. That's an obvious for every 32 teams in the league, Bears included, given what happened at the end of last season. But the other elephant in the room, so to speak, is the offensive line. There's still a lot of discussion out there about the O-line. Are they going to be able to get the best five and become a better offensive line in 2012? How do you see that all working out across the board?
The competition is there. They do have the personnel to go out and compete on an everyday basis to really put together a quality offensive line. One of the key elements is the ability of Mike Tice, a former offensive lineman, tight end, really knows the game well. How is he going to make the system more favorable for the talent the Bears have? And I do believe that game one of the regular season, it'll be a more confident offensive line going to the line of scrimmage after Jay Cutler calls the play than maybe they have been in the past.
Well, you know, putting themselves in a position to succeed, I think, is the best way to put it.
Right, but it's also they're not a one-threat team. It's not going to start from the line of scrimmage, Matt Forte, and then go forward. They're going to have to worry about Brandon Marshall, Kellen Davis, Matt Forte, Michael Bush, Devin Hester, Earl Bennett. So when you talk about what's going to help the offensive line is the weapons spread around them that the defense is going to have to worry about.
Let's go to the back seven now and that safety position. That'll be talked about a lot at training camp. Maybe not so much for the competition for Major Wright and Chris Conte, but that they take the big step, the next step, in particular Major Wright.
I think whenever you look at a position, you have to look at the division. And I am still concerned about the safety position. My biggest concern going into camp, because if you don't have consistency at the position, the same two guys with an understanding of the system and how they play along with the other corners and the linebackers in the inside the system, it's difficult to succeed. When you look at Calvin Johnson, Aaron Rodgers, Percy Harvin, the guys around our division, it's a tough position to play. It's even tougher if you're not successful and confident at it. So again, safety will be my question mark.
All right, did I miss anything?
No, I'm already. I got my second day sweat going, and this hasn't even started yet, so I'm pretty excited to watch.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's wrap it up with what's been already a very hot summer in the Chicagoland area. It'll be even a little warmer in Bourbonnais, I suspect, every day. Is the heat a concern at all? It could get real hot again.
I know, but the NFL has become very responsible about how they attack the heat and how they expose their players to the heat. I think they're very responsible for what they do, but it's also key. Lovie Smith is very intelligent because he wants to get the best practices out of these guys in the best conditions. If you go out there and it's 150 degrees and these guys are dragging their tail, it's impossible to get good work done. If they have to take an afternoon practice and move it to the evening, hey, do it, because you want these guys coming out to have a very fresh attitude when they're in full pads.
All right, get your suntan lotion, bring a hat, and Tom Thayer will be at training camp every single day, as I will. We'll bring a lot of information to you each and every day. We certainly hope that you'll join us on ChicagoBears.com. Exciting time right now for Bears fans. The start of training camp tomorrow in Bourbonnais. For Tom Thayer, I'm Jeff Joniak. Thanks for watching on ChicagoBears.com.